Oh no. Absolutely not. Absolutely. And this is Kim.
Like I said before, these girls are always tripping.
She got tattoos on her body, and she light skin kinda naughty. She gon' turn up in a party, she get lit sipping on Bacardi. She got
to be my lawful husband.
To be my lawful husband.
To love and to obey. To
What?
love and to obey.
What?
Yes, to love and to obey.
Obey what?
Obey your husband.
And obey who?
Damn, didn't y'all watch this 90 Day Fiancé stuff? I don't know how, but I got hooked on watching this trash. But like the people that review it, man, this Angela chick is so out of pocket. It's unbelievable. But if you ever get to the altar and a girl starts doing this shit right here, man, are you a fool? You gotta leave. This dude wants a green card, so that's, you know, we can see why he's holding out. But man, I've seen a lot of girls in recent times have these videos where they come up and start doing this in front of everybody. Man, it's so emasculating. It's so fucking wrong. And, well, it's a sure sign of the future, let me tell you. Hey guys, if you can, please join our Patreon. Help support the channel if you'd like to. We also have the mug store, which I add new designs every month or, you know, every once in a while. And we also have the merch store, so check that out too. If you can support us, we really appreciate it. We're trying to keep it going, and the bottom line is YouTube doesn't pay us enough to make it worth our time. So appreciate any support you guys give us. Thank you so much. And you can always find the links in the description.
I'm over this fucking senora life already. I should be getting my fucking nails done every week like the fucking queen that I am. But no, they have me doing fucking yard work over here because I decided to marry that poor ass motherfucker que se llama Juan, pinche culero.
Shut your bitch ass up!
That girl will date very under her league or even slightly under her league, but the guy is just lucky to even be breathing her air. All of a sudden, their head just inflates. They cheat, they treat them like shit, they stop prioritizing them. They really just don't appreciate the baddie they have in their life.
All right, so just hear me out here, okay? I feel like if you're going into a relationship on a power trip, simply thinking that because you're more attractive than the person you're with, that they are just lucky to be breathing your air, that you're probably not going to treat them very well. I know, it's a crazy thought, right? Now, does that excuse the fact that the guy doesn't treat her as well or cheats on her or anything like that? No, not at all. He should communicate to her how he's feeling, and they should work it out. But girls like this will go into a relationship with a guy that maybe isn't as good looking, and so they go in with a power trip. They think they're above him. And as you can see from her video, that she thinks that looks are everything, so that because she's better looking, she doesn't have to do anything else in the relationship. And so I would imagine that she probably is not the best girlfriend, isn't very appreciative of him, and then is surprised whenever he starts acting a fool. Which, like I said, is not good either. Both parties are to blame. But this reminds me of like a rich person that talks down to and treats people that don't have as much money as them poorly. All I'm saying is that looks are not everything. One of the biggest, most important things for a guy in a relationship is that he is respected. It doesn't matter how good you look. If you disrespect a guy, he's not going to treat you well. He should just break up with your ass. But some guys, especially if they're dating a girl that's more attractive than them, they'll stay in the relationship because they don't want to lose the social status, which is wrong as well.
fucking pack off of the porch or break a pound down. Get the scrap if it happen to blow, it makes a round.
Man, how many of you guys are tired of these shallow ass chicks and all they do is shake their ass or take these ridiculous pictures on Instagram and stuff? It's like there's nothing else going on there. There's no personality, there's no talent, and there's so many of them. It's just honestly gotten quite old, don't you think?
At the beginning of every single month, I collect $315,000 of rent, but I don't keep it all. So here are the 6 expenses or owning costs that I have every single month that eat away at that profit. The first one is mortgage payments. I have loans on all 285 of my rental properties. That costs me about $130,000 every month. The next big expense that comes out is insurance on every property. Then I have to pay my team to manage the property, so property management costs. Then I have to save every single month for real estate taxes that I have to pay at the end of every year. And I'm a landlord, not a slumlord. I take care of my properties and my tenants, so I set aside money every single month for maintenance. And the property is not always going to be rented, so I put 5% aside every single month for vacancy for when the properties become vacant. And at the end of every single month, I net about $50,000, which may not seem like a lot if I'm collecting $315,000, but that's what happens when you scale and buy real estate without using any of your own money. Cash flow is great, but the beautiful thing is I have over $20 million worth of equity by using debt.
Well, guys, oddly enough, I met a real estate investor out here in San Diego, and this is what I'm doing now. Pretty much wholesaling properties and bird dogging them for now. Then I'm going to buy some distressed ones and turn them into 3-plexes and 4-plexes. So this is really a fun game to play. A lot of people made money in it. You can make money in any market. One thing I can do is that if someone is distressed, like they're about to lose their property, they're behind in payments, I can bring them current and then pay them to leave, and then we can deal with the house after that. So there's a lot of creative ways that I'm going to be doing the real estate stuff. So yeah, y'all should get involved. And I got to attribute it to one thing, is that I live in San Diego. You know, people walking past the board. That's how I met this dude. He just walked past the boardwalk. Over the course of 6 months, we became really good friends and opportunities arose. I don't think that happens everywhere. So always consider where you're living. I think that's the point of this, or a strong factor to how it took place for me. And I just want to add that, you know, when I did go and do this, I'm not quitting anything. I'm still doing all the YouTube channels, the sandblasting business, the snakes, the rats, the renting out the storage containers, and I'm forgetting other stuff too, straight up. So, you know, just because I'm doing the new thing don't mean I let go of the other things. I figure out how to manage all the things. And we would tell ourselves we don't have enough time in the day. I used to have that conversation. When I gave up on that conversation, it's amazing how much stuff I can get done. So I encourage you to also do that.
I'm super excited. It was really tough. It was fun. I enjoyed it. It was definitely a different ballgame.
And starts reaching his late 30s, early 40s, he enters a new phase of life. This is psychologically and scientifically proven, and they've created a category for this. This category of life for a man in his late 30s, early 40s, he comes to one of two places: stagnation or generativity. Stagnation is when you go, well, I worked, I was an athlete in high school, I went to college and I was great at what I did, I had a job, I had a career, I had businesses, but now my kids are older, they're gone, I don't feel I'm doing anything, I'm just living on this hamster wheel, doing the same thing every single day, not really paying it forward. See, a man especially has a need to pay it forward to the next generation ahead of him, right? And the reason is because that is the only way we can leave a legacy behind, is by sharing with others, right? This is why people want to write books. This is why leaders create statues and monuments to themselves. This is why in any city you might see MLK Boulevard, right, as a nod to Martin Luther King. You might see Cesar Chavez Highway. You might see this section of this freeway is dedicated to an old mayor or an old police chief. People want to leave, men especially want to leave a legacy behind. It is in our DNA. And so for you to do that, you must have generativity. You must want to lean into becoming the best version of yourself and constantly reinventing yourself and recreating yourself and developing new hobby skills, traits, abilities, so that you are still interesting to people who are younger than you and who want to get motivated, inspired, and want to learn from you.
You either get addicted to why you can do it, or you get addicted to why you can't. Each one's a self-fulfilling prophecy, and the choice is yours.
Question for men: what are you doing in the bathroom, and why the fuck is it taking you that?
I got for you today. You know, as the economy gets tighter and these democratic policies continue to be in place, the business owners, especially the small business owners, are getting tested. And you know, I'm a wholesaler, so I deal with a lot of the business owners, and I've seen a couple of them fail. You know, if you own a business, this is the time where you're going to have to get creative. You have to figure out ways to keep the customers happy, have new products, save money, cut costs. You know, I think one of the biggest problems with the entrepreneurs that I'm seeing, or, you know, the business owners, is that they just want to keep talking about how it used to be and how it isn't that way anymore. It's like, yeah, it isn't. You know, it's like, what are you going to do about it? Like, you going to fold? Like, what's the plan? And they're literally trying to hold on to the fact that they think doing the same thing that they used to do 4 years ago should work right now so much that they'll just literally watch it fail completely, lose the whole thing. When honestly, they could have been creative. They could have figured out ways to make the business work. It's just the facts. So in my situation, you know, I had to make some choices, you know, raise prices, become more efficient. For me, it was become more efficient. And I've taken this, you know, tightening the economy as an opportunity to become a stronger business individual. So I figured out how to make more wood for less money. I figured out how to be more efficient, flat out. So, you know, it just put a pressure on me where I had to make up for the gas price, the labor costs. And for me, it was make more for less. And I was able to do it. So, you know, and essentially kind of where I'm at now is that I have so much business that I'm about to raise my prices maybe 10%, in the idea that I would lose for 10% of my business, but I'd still keep 90% and they'd pay 10% more, which means I'd make the same amount of wood for, you know, the same volume for more money. I also did other things like carry all sorts of different types of wood. I used to only carry 3 types. Now I carry like I carry like about 7 types now. So I think there's always ways to make your business survive if you're dedicated enough to make it happen, and you're not going to sit there and sulk in the fact that it's not the way it used to be. Nothing's going to be the same way it was. Every 5 years, shit changes. Politicians change. Life changes. Your location changes. Your competition changes. Everything changes. Prices change. So every 5 years, you got to figure out how to keep making it work. And the businesses that last forever are owned by individuals that are going to make it work no matter what. That's the commitment. So if you have a small business and you're suffering, you got to figure out a different way and be prepared to do it again in about 5 years. All right, guys, I always appreciate you tuning in. Please like, share, and subscribe, and we're going to see you on the next one.